All right, greetings. Greetings to y'all tonight, man. Yeah, y'all already know, man. It is Hollow. It's a night of hollows, man. Halloween. I just had to jump back off on it, man. I couldn't let the night pass. Y'all needed the video. I had somewhere I needed to go earlier. I had a couple things I needed to tend to set in on. Uh, but now, as I get ready to retire, kind of relax the rest of the day, I'm here to drop some October 31st jewels right for midnight. Now, as I told y'all, I say, hey, put your money on me. It's a whole bunch of people said I wasn't gonna be able to do this, just scan me. I don't know why people just think, man, that I'm that naive. It's nothing like what they actually believe. And tonight is a good night because you know why? The ancestors, man, they are Roman ancestors, man. They doing their thing, man. They doing their thing. So, hey, look, we gonna go on begin. We gonna go on kick it off like we usually have. You know, when I say the name of Yahweh, in the name of daughter Yahshua, sign direction of the Spirit, because you know how I'm moving. All right. But for some of y'all who don't even know, people on the left-hand path are not the only people who burn candles. They burn candles in churches, and y'all don't call it witchcraft. All right. And during most religious ceremonies, there's candles lit, but we never identified it as that. So that just show you that's the glitch in the perception, because I keep these. Always have. I keep them. But let's get straight to the point. Tonight, I am going to reveal just a very little, because people pay me for this type of information. Okay? I am going to divulge two concepts, and I'm not going to go real deep off into them because, like I say, I have to, you have to contact me. I teach these things, and they're not for free, because everything I have already taught has been for free. So what I do is I give y'all the intro to the things that I already do for people, just so you just kind of see some of the things that you can learn when it comes to restructuring yourself cognitively. And cognitively is just not psychologically, it's actually spiritually. All right. Now, what you need to know is that your thoughts, every thought that you have, every thought that I have, every thought that any of us have, I'm letting the world know that they're geometric forms. Yes, I said it. They're geometric forms. What the hell is geometry? It is your thoughts, because your thoughts create your reality. And so therefore, in order for them to register, all right, on the mental plane, okay, just merely the impression, the emotional aspect of it can register on the astral, but that is not the highest plane. All right, but when they kick in and they take effects on the mental plane, and we like to use that in tarot, as we call them, that is the suit of swords, because it deals with what? It deals with air. Anyway, the geometric shapes are formulated by your belief. I'll say that again. All of our thoughts are geometric shapes, and they take form according to our beliefs. Why did I tell you that? Because the magicians of the world have always did this. Everything that they have put out there to herd humanity is to create a belief system that would create a geometry. And through that geometry, that is what registers on the higher planes. So below, or as above, so below. So that means if you believe this, then on high is believed that this must be a reality. So therefore it must manifest as you believe it. But here's the cool thing that I don't teach anymore on my video streams. This can be learned. Yep. This is what has been hid from the world for hundreds of years. All right? You cannot excel spiritually until you do a certain level of spiritual work to learn how to destruct and construct, or should I say reconstruct, a new reality. That becomes magic. Which is why a lot of times we always thought, well, we ain't building buildings. Why are they teaching us about Pythagoras? Why are they teaching us about the Greek philosopher Pythagoras? You know, how they used to talk in school, you know, made it seem like if he said anything less than what was something proper, you must be talking in Ebonics. Okay? Fuck that. Now, I'm going to quickly show y'all, all right, the difference. Some of these shapes that y'all are going to see, y'all learned in school. But each one of these shapes represent a different perspective of thought. But I don't teach that here. I'm not going to teach you here, but I'm going to show you that it exists. That's all I'm here to do, because like I told you, I have a mission to humanity. I have a mission to humanity. And for all of those who have worked so diligently to stop me, all they did was put themselves in the bind, because I gotta complete what I'm here to do, regardless. Rain, sleet, snow, it's gotta be done. But before this video ends, let me show y'all right quick. Okay, now y'all see these shapes. Now some of these shapes, all right, you know from being in school. You recognize this one. Oh, excuse me. You recognize this one, all right, which has a value, okay, per point. Then you're commonly used to the common square, which is two 90-degree angles put together times 2, all right, makes 180, because a half of one of these is 45. So 45 degrees times 4 becomes 180, all right, which is half of a circumference of a circle, which is actually 365, okay, which actually happens to be what is known as the god of Abraxas, all right. He was the progenitor of 365. Okay, then you have the oblong, okay. You have the value here, and you have the value here, all right. These are thoughts. Each one of these are different types of thoughts. This here being the triangle of manifestation, also which you remember to being as a pyramid, okay. Then, all right, I don't know if y'all can see that because I kind of just drew it kind of distortively, but this here is an I want to say an octagon, but it's not. It's not a side. I did that wrong. All right. Then lastly, before this video ends, you see this geometry right here? You see what I wrote right here? This is what scatterbrains look like. This is a distortion of thought. So y'all stay tuned, and I'm going to teach y'all more about this.